What would you do if the neighbor's innocent little angel turned into your family's biggest nightmare, and every time you complained, his mother laughed in your face? This isn't just an annoying neighbor story. This is the day entitlement nearly tore my family apart, until the law finally stepped in. It began on what should have been a calm summer evening. My wife and I were on the porch, watching our kids chase each other in the yard. The crickets sang, the air was cool, everything felt peaceful, until Karen's son, Tyler, roared down the street on his dirt bike. No helmet, no rules, stereo so loud it rattled our windows. He swerved by our mailbox, laughing like he owned the block. At first, I let it go. Boys make noise, right? But soon, Tyler wasn't just on the street, he was in my yard. Tearing ruts through the grass, chucking soda cans like my property was his trash can. My kids would bolt inside at the sound of his engine. When I asked Karen to rein him in, she just smirked. "Relax," she said, "he's just a kid." That smugness burned hotter than his exhaust. Then came the night that changed everything. Tyler cornered my daughter at the end of the street. He revved the bike inches from her legs, spraying dirt and gravel into her face. She came home sobbing, her knees scraped, her confidence crushed. At that moment, I realized Karen wasn't just brushing things off, she was feeding his arrogance. She believed her pull and self-importance made them untouchable. But she was about to learn otherwise. The next morning, I confronted her calmly. I told her what Tyler had done, how he terrified my daughter. She didn't apologize. She laughed. "Your daughter needs to toughen up. Boys will be boys." Those 4 words sliced through me. It wasn't ignorance, it was mockery. I warned her, "If this keeps up, I'll call the police." Her smile vanished, replaced with a venomous glare. "Do that," she hissed, "and you'll regret it." Things only escalated. That afternoon, Tyler and 2 of his friends circled our house, engines growling like predators. They shouted insults, daring my kids to come outside. Gravel sprayed across my driveway as they sped off laughing. That weekend, they cut across my backyard, shredded the grass, crushed my kid's soccer net, then flipped me off as Tyler shouted, "You can't stop me. My mom runs this neighborhood." That was it. If Karen thought her influence made them invincible, she was wrong. I wasn't calling the law, I was calling the police. With shaking hands, I explained everything: the harassment, the trespassing, the threats. The officer's tone hardened when I mentioned my daughter. 20 minutes later, a patrol car pulled up. Blue lights flashed, neighbors peeked from windows. Karen stormed out in her robe, Tyler smirking at her side. I laid out every detail. The officer took notes, watching Tyler's grin fade. Karen scoffed, crossed her arms, and snapped, "He's just a kid. Boys ride bikes. These people are overreacting. My son has every right." She jabbed a finger at me like I was the criminal. The officer turned to Tyler. "Did you enter their yard? Did you threaten their daughter?" Tyler froze. Karen barked, "Don't answer that. Bad move." The officer's tone sharpened. "Ma'am, trespassing and harassment are not kid games. They're crimes." For the first time, Karen's mask cracked. She sputtered excuses, but the officer wasn't buying it. He issued Tyler a formal warning. Next time, it would be charges. Karen spat venom at me as the officer left. "You think you've won? This isn't over." And she meant it. The very next morning, her rage exploded. I woke to her screaming in the street, pointing at my house. "This man harasses my son. He called the cops on a child." Neighbors gathered. I stayed calm. "Karen," I said, "your son isn't a little boy anymore. He threatened my daughter. He trespassed. That's why the police came." Murmurs spread through the crowd. For once, Karen wasn't being cheered, she was being doubted. But Tyler doubled down. He stomped toward my driveway, yelling, "This neighborhood belongs to us." Then he grabbed a rock and hurled it at my mailbox. The loud clang sent my kids screaming inside. That was the final straw. I dialed the police again, this time for charges. 2 officers returned. When they pulled out handcuffs, Tyler's fake confidence vanished. Karen shrieked, "You can't arrest him. He's just a kid." The officer's response silenced the block, "He's old enough to know better. And you've done nothing but enable him. Actions have consequences." The cuffs clicked shut. Tyler's smirk was gone, replaced by fear. Karen screamed about lawsuits and knowing people, but no one cared anymore. The neighbors had seen the truth. That night, my home was quiet. My daughter finally slept peacefully. And Karen, she learned entitlement doesn't shield you from justice. So remember this: The next time someone excuses bad behavior with, "he's just a kid," sometimes, "just a kid," is exactly the problem.